Video is going to play a much bigger part on LinkedIn in 2025, but I think the problem with video content is that so many people are scared to death almost of going on camera, and the other reason is that editing is there's so much to learn when you come to video editing, and so it puts most people off because they don't look at video content on LinkedIn. I have my video content on LinkedIn, and they go, I can't do that. So I'm either gonna have to go through a steep learning curve and learn how to edit, or it's gonna cost me a fortune to hire someone like me to edit it for them. So I'm gonna change things up a little bit. I'm gonna simplify my own video content for a start, and this is the start of that process. Just make it a lot simpler. No flashy titles, no, really flashy transitions or anything like that. Just really simple, because that also means that it's accessible to you guys as well. Everybody can do this kind of a video, but also because this is trending on YouTube. So this style of video is trending on YouTube at the moment. The vlog days of Casey Neistat are gone, and that sort of overproduction of content, and people are just sitting down and consuming content like this, like simple stuff. The other reason is that so many people are cancelling their streaming services as well at the moment because money is tight, and the one app they're going to is YouTube. Some people are just really scared of being in front of the camera, and I get it, because it's scary, especially doing this. This for me, being outside in public and vlogging, is this is me completely and utterly outside of my comfort zone. I'm all right in the office. I'm all right when you can just set up the camera in front of your desk and make a video, but actually being outside where other people are potentially watching you and sniggering and laughing, this is my idea of hell. The reality, of course, is completely different, because most of that is just in my head, and no one's sniggering and no one's looking, and it's so common these days to see people out and about with a video camera that it's an irrational fear. In front of me at the moment is a skate park which is just full of people, and no one is batting an eyelid. By the way, if you live in Brighton and you do actually see me out and about filming, don't be shy. Please come and say hello. It would make me feel so much more comfortable knowing that some of you guys are out there and you're watching me. I'd much rather you do that than walk on past. The thing is with making videos like this is that even outside, it's just me and the camera. And if I don't like what I said, if I don't like the shot, if there's something I don't like about this, when I'm looking at it on my PC later, I'm gonna just hit delete. So no one else is gonna see it. So this idea that it's embarrassing is completely irrational. So I guess the next question is, why the hell would you put yourself through all this pain and taking yourself out of your comfort zone to record videos, especially outside like this, where people are actually coming towards me, and so I'm going to become really self-conscious about it? And I guess the answer to that is that we are in a zone on LinkedIn at the moment where there is just a huge opportunity. There hasn't been an opportunity like this since 2017, when they launched native video for the first time, and we could all put up videos onto LinkedIn without having to put them onto YouTube first. So what happens when companies like this launch a brand new product is that they massively give it huge exposure. And so that's what's happening on LinkedIn at the moment. Just last week, I had two of my clients who have got a very limited number of followers, but achieved 35,000 impressions in one case and 50 odd thousand in another case. I think it was nearly 60,000 impressions. So there is this opportunity right now on LinkedIn that if you don't go for it right now, then it's not going to happen again, or not for a long time as well. So it is worth trying to get beyond that pain barrier and do something a little bit different. I can see B2C brands doing really well on LinkedIn too. I think in that video feed, I can just see those sort of lifestyle style videos appearing and it feeling natural and normal. The reach right now on LinkedIn is just off the scale. And so it's well worth trying to do something a little bit different, trying to lean into video and giving it a go. And hopefully this style of video is not going to be complicated for people to make. So let me show you just how you make this kind of a video. So the first part of making videos on LinkedIn is planning. You can't really make a video without some sort of thought or planning before you actually pick up the camera. Well, you can, but they're usually not the best videos to watch. So I first heard about this method when I was watching a YouTube video by a guy called Sean Cannell, and he runs Think Media. He's very focused on YouTube, but I think it now applies to the new video feed on LinkedIn as well. And he came up with this idea of having a method called the 3 T's. And the first T is theme, and that is the sort of broad subject that you're going to be talking about on your LinkedIn channel. Mine, for example, is helping people to produce and create really effective and professional personal brands on LinkedIn. The easiest way to think about it is probably, what problem do you solve? The second T is then takeaway or topic. And so that's more around the specific video. So this one, for example, the topic is going to be how you can easily make videos for LinkedIn without having to be the world's best videographer or the world's best editor. And then there's also a takeaway as well, which is hopefully as a result of this video, you will learn something about how to make easy videos on LinkedIn. So it's a topic and it's also a takeaway. And telling stories is the third one, which is really what I'm doing now, telling you my video journey and how I'm now going to be creating videos. So this is my story and where I'm up to in my video journey. Now let's film it. And this is probably the interesting part for you guys, is how you can just very, very quickly, very, very simply film video and edit it really quickly to be able to get it up on LinkedIn without doing a huge amount. So I want to show you a few things. Okay, so I've come into a much, much quieter place now because I was feeling super self-conscious up there on the promenade with everyone walking past me. Plus the light was absolutely blinding. So I'm going to show you some kit. I'm going to show you how easy this is just to, if you've got the right kit, to be able to just make really, really simple videos really, really quickly. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this thing, which is called a DJI Pocket Osmo 3. And it is just such an amazing camera. So with this thing, you can just, it's got this little tripod here, so you can just pretty much put it anywhere you want to. So I've just set it up on this little bench. I've just put it on top of the bench and it's now tracking me. So if I move as well, this thing has got face tracking, so it also tracks me around. So I can actually make some shots that move. So this is a great little camera. By just putting on a selfie stick with a tripod on the bottom of it as well, then I can now have this at a better height. So if I haven't got anything like a bench to put it on, then I can just set this up and it's now brilliant. And now I've got a tripod that is at a decent height. And if I want to extend it even further, I just add on another bit of tripod onto it. For that shot that started this whole video, it was shot in the car and it was still done with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've got this little setup here on the windscreen where all I've got to do is just put the Osmo straight into its little connector and then hit record, and it will now face track me and I've got my camera for driving in the car. Really simple setup, but it means that all I've got to do is just press the button and it'll face track me and record, and I can focus on the road whilst still making videos in the car. You can do the same thing with your phone, so it doesn't have to be just the DJI Pocket Osmo 3. This little setup here, for example, is exactly the same. I've got a selfie stick with the tripod on the bottom of it and then my phone attached in portrait mode here. So it doesn't have to be that camera, you can do it with your phone just as easily. I've accumulated over the years a multitude of different tripods. This one, you can bend and so you can just twist it around stuff and have your camera held. This one was great when you're doing a lot of walking and talking because it's got that sort of angle to it, so you can actually walk and talk. It was designed, I guess, for a sort of heavier camera, but you just don't need this stuff with the new DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And this works quite well with a phone, I guess, as well, but the selfie stick just works as well, just as good. So, honestly, I've got tripods. This one I bought on a whim because it's got this ability to, where is the thing there? So you can actually hook it over something and then have your camera here. So you can hook it over a wall or a fence or something and just have it there. And I loved this camera, this tripod. The important thing to remember, and the reason that I'm going on so much about tripods, is stability is absolutely key. You want to have a stable shot. So just walking with your phone in your hand, it's just not great. It's too close for number one, but also because even if you're just walking, even if you're just holding it, it's going to be shaky. So you want some stability. So anything that stabilizes your phone or uses that DJI, which has got image stabilization and the tripod, is just so much better for people to watch your videos. So that's kind of kit. Let's move on now, because what I want to do is take that bit of footage in the car, first of all, at the very start of this video, and show you how to edit it. That piece is the teaser piece that I'm using for LinkedIn, and I'm going to put that on LinkedIn and then hopefully tease people over to watch this video on YouTube. So for you guys that are going to be making a lot of LinkedIn videos, that's all you really need to learn about, is that first sort of couple of minutes and how to edit that simply. Okay, let's do some editing. So I am going to edit this in Premiere Pro. And I know that that's a beast of a program, but it is a good place to start if you're going to just start basically. But the thing is with Premiere Pro is that as you want to do more things, then the functionality is just there. So you can just go into YouTube and search for what you want to do on Premiere Pro, and there's thousands and thousands of videos. But I'm going to keep this on really, really basic to start with. So Adobe Premiere Pro, you can buy it, I think, on monthly subscription. That's what I do. And it is just a powerhouse of video editing software. So first of all, we have to start a new project. So as Premiere Pro opens up, once you've installed it, then you hit this button up here, new project. And it's going to ask us now what we want to call this video. So we'll say LinkedIn test teaser. And it's going to ask me where I want to put it. So I'm going to put it into this folder here. I'm going to put it into my YouTube folder there and say, okay. And then we hit create. And it will open up something that looks really, really scary. It does look really, really scary, because where the hell do you start with this thing? So the first place I start usually is by importing the media. So we need to find our video file. So if you've recorded this on your DJI Osmo or your phone, get the files off those devices and get them into a folder on your computer. So I'm just going to look for that first video, which is going to be here. So I think this is the first bit. So I'm going to find that file and import, and it will put that file up here. So this is my file for that car video, which we're going to edit. Next, so I've got my file. I now need to start a sequence. It's called a sequence. So I go here and I'll say start a new sequence, and then there's this window that just gives you so many different options. I pretty much leave everything as it is. I go to settings, and the one I'm going to change is the frame size. So at the moment it's 1920 by 1080, which is what you're watching this video in. But for LinkedIn, you need it to be a portrait. So we're going to change this to 1080 and 1920. So that will give us a portrait video. And again, I'm just going to leave all these settings like this. So that gives us now a timeline down the bottom and a blank portrait sized video. So I've got my sequence. It's called sequence number 1. And I'm going to take my file and I'm going to just drag it into the timeline. It's going to tell me immediately, because this clip was filmed in landscape, so this the size of the video that you're watching at the moment, but I want to put it into portrait. So it's immediately going to warn me and say there's a clip mismatch warning. And I'm just going to say keep existing settings, because I want to be able to manipulate this size on my own. So I've got my file. You can see just here where it cuts off. So the video is smaller than the size of the video that I need it to be. So I'm going to have to change this. This is me just setting up the camera at the start of this. So I want to kind of go to a bit where I'm actually talking, which is probably here. And this is a good way to work out how I can now resize this. So on Premiere Pro, tag along here. So you've got your project, and tag along to effect controls, whilst you've also got this clip highlighted. And you'll see a little button called scale. Now, if you hold down your mouse and you just literally move it upwards, you can see the video is scaling up. So we've now got a full-size portrait video, but as I play, let's just see. So I've extended that to 188% of the video, but you can still see that it's not great. It's okay, but I'm slightly positioned over to the left, so I can now move myself. So again, by just clicking the clip here and then going to the position, I can just move myself across a little bit. And I probably want to be, I want a little bit of window in there as well, because I want you, when this video is finally edited, I want to be able to see a little bit of movement going on here as well. So let me just scroll around. Does that play nicely? Yes, it does. There's quite a lot of height, quite a lot of lost space here, though. Do you see? So I probably want my head a little bit further up. So I'm going to use the other. So this one moves me across, and the other one moves me up or down. Now you can see as soon as I move myself up, then I've cut that's the end of the bottom of the video, so it's cut off. So I'm not going to have a lot of flexibility. I can either increase the size, which just makes me look really, really big, and then come down a bit. I mean, I don't know. That might look all right. So it's coming to the end of the year. What I've lost though is the movement in that window bit by going up. So I might just come down a little bit here, come over across, and then drop it down. So I've still got some head height here, but it's enough. I think it's enough. That looks okay. Okay, so, that's a shot to end on, isn't it? So we go right to the end, to the beginning of the clip. And obviously all of this stuff that's just played now is just me setting up the camera in the car before I set off on my journey. And so I'm putting it into the holder that I showed you earlier. I'm making sure that it's tracking me. And then, of course, security first, I'm putting my seatbelt on. You don't want to see all this in the video, so I need to cut all of this off. And so I need to move up to the bit where I'm actually going to start talking to the camera. And so you can scroll forwards here, and when do I start? Oh, look, I'm started to talk. So let me just play here. And I want to start on the word so, because immediately you start watching the video, I want me to be talking. So let's just expand the size of this here. How do you do that? I'm doing that with a trackpad, but I think you can do it. Can you do it? Oh, no, you can't do it there. There's another way of doing this, and I can't immediately find it. Anyway, find out how to extend this this timeline here, and I want to find that so word. There it is. So there it is. So as soon as the video starts, I'm talking straight away. So I want to cut this. I'm going to be explaining stuff on how you do it on a Mac rather than a PC, but excuse me. What I'm going to do on my keyboard now, I'm not sure if this is the same on Windows, but it is on a Mac. If I press the C letter, then you can see that my mouse has changed to a cutting device, and I can select it right over the blue line where the so word is, and just click my mouse. And now you'll be able to see that I have cut that. So we've got a clip here and we've got a clip here. And I don't want all of this stuff. So I can just highlight all of this stuff now and get rid of it. So the problem is, of course, that my video starts at 29 seconds with the first lot of it being blank. So I need to just highlight this and drag that whole clip over. So let's just run this bit through now and see how it plays. I think I did this in pretty much one take. So let's just have a quick look.
So it's coming to the end of the year now, and it's getting a little bit colder. And obviously, video is going to play a much bigger part on LinkedIn in 2025. But the problem is with video is that, I mean, most people are scared to death of going onto camera, and I get that, I understand it.
Okay, so it's going pretty well. So there we go. Look, so I actually started talking and started doing a bit of the video, and I didn't like what I said, so I've decided to start the whole thing again. So I need to cut again. So let's just have a look at where I start the video properly again here. So it's come to the end of the year, and it's obviously getting a bit colder as well. And obviously, video is going to play a lot. No, see, I didn't like what I was saying, so I've just stopped. So again, there's another opportunity in this video that I've.
So it's coming to the end of the year.
Let's cut here. This sounds like it's. I mean, you can tell here along the line that it looks like constant audio now. Oh, by the way, you can just drag this down so that it makes it even more obvious what's happening on your audio line. So I'm starting there. It's about as close as the edge. So it's coming to the right. So I can cut here. So C again on the keyboard, cut, and then get rid of this and drag the whole thing to the end so that it starts at the beginning. So it's coming to the end of the year, and it's getting colder, and video is going to play a much bigger part. So I'm talking, and it looks like I'm going to actually carry on talking without stopping. I can see that on the audio line down here. It's constant. Let's just drag through all the way through to the end. And how you can do it for yourself as well. And also deal with that question of editing. So if you are interested, then click the link in the comments, and we'll carry on this conversation. Okay, so this is the end of the video now, and I'm still looking for a parking space. So obviously I don't want any of this stuff in the video, so I can stop here. If I expand this again, and just want to see where the last word is. So I'll probably just leave a little bit of a gap. I'll show you why later, and I'm going to cut that bit out as well. Okay, so now I've got a 2 minutes 14 video that looks like it's just me talking all the way through, which is absolutely brilliant. So I've got a 2 minute video, and I'm going to probably keep all of that video. So we've now got our video, and this is how easy this is. So if you're doing more conversational, more relaxed, more authentic videos that are literally just talking, you've planned it beforehand, so you know the theme of your LinkedIn channel, you know the topic of this video and the takeaway that you want to give people, and you've kind of designed this in your head or by writing it out what the story is going to be. Then you've got now a 2 minute video that does exactly what you want it to do. So you could post this. So we could post this video right now, and it would probably be fine. There's a couple of things that I want to do with this, just to make it a little bit easier for people to watch. And also I need to just deal with that end bit as well. So the critical thing on LinkedIn video is captions. And on Premiere Pro, it will do it for you. So this little button up here, workspaces, if we now go, we're on assembly at the moment. I know all the editors will look at me and say, why do you work in assembly? I don't know. I've just always done it. Everyone else goes and works in whatever it is, editing. I just always work in assembly. I don't know why. We want to go down to captions and graphics. So if I hit that, it's going to change the look and feel of our workspace here. And there's a button up here called text. So I've hit the button text, and here by magic of AI, Alistair Dickinson, if you're watching this, no comments please, I can now create captions from the transcript. So if I press that button, it'll give me this particular screen here. So it's already defaulting to subtitles, but it's going to give us some options on captioning. And I just want to show you this. So if you expand that, it gives you lots of different options. On all of my videos, the maximum length in characters, I'd take that down to 15. And the minimum duration in seconds, I take that down to 1.5. And then I make sure that it's a single line rather than a double line. And if I create captions, the AI works its magic, and suddenly we've got captions on the screen, which is just crazy. So if I play that through, we'll see how accurate. I mean, it's very, very accurate. This process has just got so much better over time. So captions are really, really easy. The issue here is that they're very, very small. And I also know that when you put video up on the video feed, then this area is covered up by other stuff. So I need to move my captions up a little bit, and I need to make them bigger as well. So just by holding my mouse down, if I now click over all of those captions, I've got the properties, whatever it is, dock, place thing on the right-hand side of my screen. And I can now start to adjust things. So I use Poppins in black because it's a big bold font. And I always add a little bit of stroke to it as well, not quite 4, but 3. And I change the color of that stroke to being black. So the hex code for black is 6 zeros. So I've now got a little bit of surrounding, a little bit of stroke around the font, but it's still too small. Remember, I've got the whole lot highlighted here, so I'm making changes to every single subtitle. So up here, I can change 48 and I can make this a little bit bigger. And I tend to go at around 90. So that's just a nice enough size font for people to read. If you go too far, then you actually end up with double lines over stuff. Double lines of text, so it's not as good. I could just hit this button now to reposition my text from being at the bottom to being in the middle, but it puts it right over my face. So I don't want to do that. I want it to be a little bit more subtle than that. So this button here, if I press this right, will now move. Again, I'm just holding my mouse down and then dragging downwards. And that's starting to move my text up a little bit. So if I go around this area here, I know that when it appears on the video feed, there's going to be lots of stuff here, and so usually your captions get lost in all that other stuff. So I probably about here is fine. It's not covering up my face, and it's at a height that people can read. So we're looking good now. So let me just play these things through.
It's coming to the end of the year,
And it's getting colder. And video is going to play a much, much bigger part on LinkedIn in 2025. But so this is really good. I mean, it's got pretty much every word right. I'm not going to bore you by going through the whole thing, but go through here. I'll just make a change just so that show you how you can make a change if the text is wrong. So much to learn when you come to video editing, and so it puts most people off because they don't look at video content. Oh, so there we go. There was a mistake. So what's it say? I have, and I think I said and mine, and my. So it's mistaken that for I have. So this word is wrong. I need to change it. So I'm highlighting the text, the caption in the timeline down here. And if I come up here and double click, it will turn it to red, and I can now delete. What was I going to say? And mine, and my. What was the line? I've forgotten what the line was. And my. So I just need the word and. In fact, I'm probably going to get rid of that. Move that little bit up and add the word and to here. Oops, can't spell. And my video. So now that will play. There we go. So you can just make adjustments, go through the whole of your timeline, make sure that the text is absolutely right. The commas, usually what it gets wrong is like capital letters. I noticed at the beginning here, it started with a lowercase I. And so I'd want to change that to an uppercase I because that's where I'm starting my audio. So we've now got text. You can do other things with text to make them flash in and You can make them bigger and bolder and all sorts of things. But as a very basic video, we've now got our captions in place as well. This conversation on YouTube. So, I mean, again, I'm not sure whether I want to show you this. So there's something really simple that you can do here. So we've come to the end of the video, and it just ends abruptly, and I kind of want to end a little bit better than that. So if I'm going to come out of, I'm in captions and graphics now. If I go back to my assembly, where the editors will all have a go at me for working in assembly, I can come across to the project, and I can create a color mat. I'll show you what this does. So I want to create a color mat. It's already got the sizing of the video right, so that's okay. And if I then click there, it's going to give me some options. What color should we go for? Let's go for an orange color down here. So you can change the name of the color mat. So I'll call it orange color mat, and hit go. Okay, so it's put a colour mat up here for me into my project. And again, I can just drag that down to here. So where do I want it? So the text, probably just after the text finishes. Okay, so I've got an orange colour mat. And what I could do is now, I can now even add in a logo. Okay, so I can add a logo. Let's just find where it is on here. There we go. I mean, the colours are all off, so forgive me. But I found a logo, and I can now put that in here as well. Make sure that it lines up. So as soon as, let's make it a little bit bigger. So if you've got your logo and you put it in there, and you can do the same thing here, come to effect controls, same thing we did earlier, and just increase the size of that. So I now finish, and then it finishes on a logo. So we've got a video. I can now add another, so we've got multiple audio lines up on our timeline here. I can add an audio line in here of putting some music, but at the very basic level, we've got a video that starts now with straight onto the audio, rather than leaving that sort of 2-second gap before you start filming. And you lost that bit about pressing the button and pressing the button at the end. It starts straight away and it ends nicely with a bit of a different colour mat and the logo in there as well. So we've got a video. So if I now export this, then so if I export this and call it teaser, and we're putting it into the YouTube folder. Again, I leave most of these settings as they are, hit the export button. Premiere Pro will start to export this video, and it doesn't take long, just a matter of seconds. And then once it's exported it, we've got our video that we can then post up onto LinkedIn. Okay, so it's finished exporting. So I can now come out of Premiere Pro. I can look in the folder that is called LinkedIn and then YouTube, and there is my video file. If I open that, I've now got a portrait video that if I play,
It's coming to the end of the year.
it's getting colder, and you can now upload that and post that onto LinkedIn. But I've just got to go out the door now because I've got to go and meet a client. So listen, I hope that was really useful. That's probably the first ever 30-minute video that I've ever done. So yeah, listen, I hope you enjoyed it. So obviously, let's just summarize. Please don't be scared about video. Getting yourself on camera is it is an experience. I mean, it's like what I'm doing now is me getting myself out of my comfort zone, because I hate vlogging in public and there's somebody walking towards me with a pram, and so I'm not going to enjoy this experience. But you know, you've got to kind of push yourself so that you can do these sort of different things. And I guess the second thing is that piece around planning is so critical. So remember those 3 T's. Theme, which is just really the broad theme for your YouTube channel and what you're going to be talking about on your YouTube channel. And then topic or takeaway, which is that bit, hold on, I've got to run. Topic or takeaway, which is that bit that is more specific to the particular video, and what topic you're going to talk about on that video, and then telling stories throughout the whole of that content. You've got to do this in 90 seconds. So it's a tough ask. But, sorry, I'm in Brighton, so you have to look down the cycle lanes, otherwise you get run over by bicycles. So yeah, telling stories and all that sort of stuff as well. Kit, if you can get yourself one of these cameras, then great. They are just amazing. This little DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is fantastic, but you can do all this stuff on your phone as well. I wouldn't necessarily be doing this shot if it was on a phone because of that stability that we're talking about, so I'd probably find a fixed position to do that. But with the Osmo, because it's got the gimbal on the top of it, then it gets rid of a lot of those stability problems and that sort of motion jar. So this is a great camera. But hopefully, as you can see, the editing is actually where the magic happens. So just keeping it as tight as possible just makes a world of difference to your videos. But hopefully, the big takeaway from this is you don't have to be a super editor to do this sort of stuff. You can just make really simple conversational videos and put them out there. And I think they're going to be so wildly different from the other stuff that's on LinkedIn that they should stand out. Let's give it a go. Hope you enjoyed it.